2 o'clock in the afternoon, April 10th, 1912. Titanic steams westward through the English Channel. Southampton is behind her. The docks, the near collision with the New York, the crowds who watched her depart. Ahead is Cherbourg, France, 67 nautical miles, 5 or 6 hours at 18 knots. The sea is calm. The sky is clearing. Sunlight breaks through clouds in shafts that light up the water. It's a perfect spring afternoon, and the passengers, those who boarded just hours ago, are discovering something extraordinary. The first impression is the size. You can't comprehend it from the dock. It's not a ship. It's a building, a city. You can walk for 10 minutes in one direction and still be aboard. And the steadiness. On smaller ships, you feel constant engine vibration. On Titanic, there's nothing. The engines are so far below, so well insulated, that you could forget they exist. No swaying, no pitching. The ship moves through water like a knife through butter. I'm Keith Conrad, and this is Sidequests. Today, Cherbourg, the Continental passengers who boarded Millionaire's Mistresses, Emigrants, the first dinner at sea, and tomorrow, Queenstown, Ireland, the final port before the Atlantic. 5:30 in the evening, the French coast is clearly visible. Cherbourg's breakwater, the old fort, the town catching golden light. But Cherbourg has a problem. The harbor is too shallow. Titanic's draft, the depth she sits in the water, is 34 feet. Cherbourg's harbor averages 30 feet. So Titanic anchors in deeper water outside the breakwater and waits for tenders to bring passengers out. 6:30. The anchor chains run out with a sound like thunder. When the anchors hit bottom, the sound reverberates through the entire forward section. Titanic settles at anchor, barely rocking despite being in open water. Two tenders approach, Nomadic and Traffic, both built in 1911 specifically to service the Olympic-class ships. Nomadic handles first and second class, elegant with interiors mirroring the ocean liners she serves. Traffic is utilitarian, third-class mail baggage, functional not fancy. 6:35, Nomadic comes alongside, gangways are lowered. The boarding begins, 142 first-class passengers, 30 second-class passengers, among them Margaret Brown, age 44, from Denver, nouveau riche from mining wealth, a survivor of poverty who refuses to be defined by anyone else's expectations. Molly Brown, newspapers will call her later, though she never used that nickname. She's Margaret, Mrs. J.J. Brown, a force of nature. She boards with characteristic energy, immediately wanting to know how everything works, the engines, the watertight compartments, the electrical systems. She's not content to just enjoy luxury. She wants to understand it. Sir Cosmo and Lady Duff Gordon board under the names Mr. and Mrs. Morgan, seeking privacy. Lucille is one of the world's most famous fashion designers. She invented the modern fashion show. But tonight they want anonymity. Benjamin Guggenheim, 46, mining magnate, fifth of 7 Guggenheim brothers, but traveling not with his wife, who remains in New York, but with Leontine Aubert, age 24, a French singer, his mistress, also with them, Guggenheim's valet, and Madame Aubert's maid. The affair is an open secret. In 1912, wealthy men often travel with mistresses. Everyone knows. Everyone pretends not to notice. John Jacob Astor IV and Madeline. He's 47, she's 18 and 5 months pregnant. One of the richest men in America, traveling with his scandalously young second wife. They've spent months in Europe waiting for New York gossip to die down. Now they're returning home. The baby will be born American, heir to the Astor fortune. On the port side, Traffic delivers 102 third-class passengers, mostly European immigrants, French families, Belgian workers, Swiss farmers, Croatian laborers. Everything they own fits in trunks and bundles. They've traveled for days across France, from Belgium, from Switzerland, from the Balkans, all converging on Cherbourg because this is the route to America. By 8 o'clock, the transfer is complete. 174 new passengers aboard, 1,767 mailbags loaded. The tenders cast off, returning to Cherbourg Harbor. The anchors are raised. The engines build power. Titanic is ready to depart. Ahead, an overnight crossing. 50 miles to Queenstown, Ireland. They'll arrive tomorrow morning. The final port, the last passengers, and then the Atlantic. 7:30 in the evening. Throughout Titanic, passengers return to cabins to prepare for the first dinner at sea. This is more than a meal. It's a social event, an opportunity to see and be seen. And on maiden voyage night, everyone wants to make an impression. In first class, the preparation is elaborate. White tie and tails for men. Valets help their employers dress. Starched collars, white bow ties tied by hand. Patent leather shoes polished to mirror shine. For women, it's even more involved. Corsets first, pulled tight by ladies' maids. Then undergarments, layers of them. Then gowns with dozens of buttons running up the back. You cannot dress yourself. You need help. Hair already done, elaborate arrangements that took an hour. Now comes jewelry, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, tiaras for those with the status to wear them. In second class, Sunday best. Dark suits for men, best dresses for women, not luxury, but respectable. Charlotte Collier helps 8-year-old Marjorie into her best dress. They're emigrating to Idaho, but tonight they're dining on the finest ship afloat. In third class, clean clothes, your best outfit if you have multiple options. No dress code, but many put on their best anyway. This is special. This is Titanic. This deserves respect. In the dining saloon, staff make final preparations. White tablecloths stretched perfectly smooth. Crystal glassware positioned precisely. China plates bearing the White Star crest. Silverware laid out with geometric precision. Menus have been printed. In first class, 10 courses available. Not everyone will order all 10, but the options are there. French names for dishes, filet mignon lily rather than small steaks. Presentation matters. Language matters. This is theater as much as dining. In the kitchens, 60 cooks work under intense pressure. 10 courses for 500 diners requires military precision. Everything timed exactly. First course at 8, second at 8:20, third at 8:40, on and on through 10 courses. Finishing around 10:30, Wallace Hartley's orchestra tunes instruments, then begins playing light classical pieces, waltzes, popular melodies. Music to create atmosphere. 8 o'clock. First-class passengers descend the grand staircase. Women in rustling silk and satin. Evening gowns in every color, jewelry glittering under electric light. Diamonds catching and reflecting illumination. Men in crisp evening clothes. Black and white, formal, elegant. They descend like royalty. This is their moment. This is what first class pays for, the opportunity to display luxury, to see and be seen. The first class dining saloon, 114 feet long, Jacobean-style oak paneling, 532 seats. Stewards in white jackets seat passengers, present menus, take drink orders. They move with practiced efficiency, anticipating needs. The captain's table holds Captain Smith, J. Bruce Ismay, Thomas Andrews. The Astors are invited. John Jacobs' wealth makes him important. The Wideners join, Philadelphia Society. The menu is elaborate, unnecessarily so. No one needs 10 courses, but excess is the point. Oysters, consommé, poached salmon, filet mignons, lamb, roast duckling, punch romaine, a lemon ice with rum to cleanse the palate, roast squab, cold asparagus, desserts, multiple options, different wines with each course, champagne, brandy, and port after dinner. The service is impeccable. Stewards glide between tables, removing finished plates, bringing new courses, filling glasses. Professional, invisible until needed. Perfect.
We had a big vase of beautiful daffodils on the table, as fresh as if they had just been picked. The atmosphere was gay, and nearby people were making bets on the time of this record-breaking run. Lucy Duff Gordon, first-class passenger.
The second-class dining saloon has a different atmosphere, less formal, friendlier, long communal tables where strangers sit together. Consommé, baked haddock, spring lamb, roast turkey, plum pudding, good food, well-prepared, ample portions. The Hart family dines together. 7-year-old Eva is excited. Her mother Esther is still anxious. Her premonition hasn't faded, but maintains appearances. Lawrence Beasley sits with other solo travelers, observing everything with a teacher's analytical eye. Third class operates in 2 sittings. 700 passengers can't fit at once. Rice soup, fresh bread, roast beef, sweet corn, boiled potatoes, plum pudding, fruit cheese tea. It's better than many eat at home. Meat at every meal isn't normal for rural Irish farmers or Swedish laborers. Someone plays accordion. Traditional songs, people smile, some sing in their languages. Children clap. Language barriers disappear with music. A sense of community forms quickly. They're all heading to America, all in this together. First-class women gather in the reading and writing room. Coffee is served, some write letters. Others discuss fashion, travel, establishing social pecking order through conversation. But the liveliest place on ship is third-class general room. Music fills the space. Accordion, harmonica, fiddle. They play together. Traditional music from home countries, Irish jigs, Swedish folk dances, Italian tarantellas, and people dance. Language barriers disappear. You don't need the same language to dance. Young couples flirt. Older couples show proper steps. Children weave between adults, squealing with delight. They're bonding over shared experience. All immigrants. All leaving everything for America's promise. Tonight, dancing in the general room, those hopes feel real. By midnight, the ship settles. Most passengers have retired. The public room's empty except for late-night card games, a few couples walking decks. The crew changes watches. New quartermasters at the wheel. New lookouts in the crow's nest. Below decks, the firemen never stop. 4 hours on, 8 hours off, around the clock. 176 men shoveling coal into 159 furnaces. The work never ends. In the wireless room, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride send passenger messages. Social gossip, business updates. Arrived safely aboard Titanic, weather perfect, ship magnificent. They're also receiving ice warnings. Ships on northern routes reporting icebergs in the shipping lanes. Pack ice extending farther south than usual. Phillips notes them. He'll deliver them to the bridge in the morning. For now, passenger messages take priority. Ice warnings are routine. Ships report ice every April. No one's concerned. Ice is expected. Ice is manageable. Modern ships don't fear ice. Captain Smith makes final rounds before retiring. He visits the bridge, checks with the watch officer. Everything is perfect. The near collision in Southampton could have been disastrous, but wasn't. Cherbourg was smooth. The ship performs beautifully. Passengers are happy. Tomorrow, Queenstown, the final port, then departure for the open Atlantic. 5 days to New York. The weather forecast is excellent. The ship is magnificent. Everything is perfect. Titanic steams through the night, crossing the channel, heading northwest toward Ireland and Queenstown. Tomorrow morning, the final port. Irish emigrants will stream aboard, hundreds of them, leaving everything they know for America's promise. Families saying final goodbyes, young men and women seeking work they can't find at home. And then the ship will turn west into the open Atlantic. 5 days of sailing, 5 days until New York. For premium subscribers, we go deeper. Margaret Brown's full biography, From Poverty to Mining Wealth, Benjamin Guggenheim and the Complexities of Edwardian Affairs, John Jacob Astor's Scandal and Fortune, the full 10-course dinner menu, and what was really happening in the wireless room as ice warnings accumulated. Visit newsidequest.com to hear the full episode. Next time, Queenstown, Father Brown's photographs, the priest who survived because he obeyed orders, the Irish emigrants, their hopes, their fears, their final farewells to Europe, and then departure into the Atlantic, toward ice fields no one believes are dangerous. The final link to land is broken.